Welcome back, Truth Seeker. In the headlines, Grand Canyon basketball player Oscar Frayer dies in a car accident 57 hours after his game against Iowa in March Madness, in what was the school's first ever game in the March Madness college basketball tournament. And if you read the article, they say he died along with his girlfriend and his sister. And what's interesting is they say that early Tuesday morning, which was March 23rd, they crashed into a California highway patrol car, and then after crashing into that, struck a tree and caught fire. That's per the news. So they crashed into a highway patrol car, and then a tree, and then caught fire, and all three people died 3 days after the March Madness tournament game, Grand Canyon's first ever. Now, if you read down a little bit further, it says only 57 hours before his crash, Frayer was playing number 2 seed Iowa. So they specify 57 hours. Very specific. And notice what his name equals in Gematria. Oscar Frayer, 57. And again, that's considered the most pure cipher in Gematria. Faith Giovanni wrote about it in her book, The Divine Triangle. Manly P. Hall wrote about it in his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Again, I learned this in 2013, this exact cipher right here from those books, and have been applying it to news and showing how every single day the stories we read are clearly encoded with this language. Why specify 57 hours? Now notice further, the day they crashed, March 23rd, 2021, it was a date with 67 numerology, and blood sacrifice equals 67, as does human sacrifice. And it wasn't just him that died, his girlfriend and his sister died as well. And the name of the Grand Canyon football team, or not football team, but the nickname of the college is the Lopes. So basketball team, football team if they got one. But Lopes is 67 when you just use the most simple cipher, which Manly P. Hall also writes about. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. The way you get that is L is the 12th letter with the alphabetic order, O is the 15th, P is the 16th, E is the 5th, S is the 19th. If you add those letters up, it's 67. Now notice when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules of numerology, Lopes is also 23. He was 23 years old, and this crash was on the 23rd of March. So the Lopes player dies along with his girlfriend and sister, in what's clearly a ritual. Also, don't overlook what's right in front of everyone's face, that he wore the number 4. Of course, in Mandarin Chinese and in Japanese, you pronounce the number 4 the same way you pronounce the word death, and the number 4 is associated with death in Eastern cultures because of that. We're reading Manly P. Hall's book about the meaning of numbers, and he also associates how 4 represents the tomb, so also related to death. And if you read the article, you'll also see that it says his father died in a car crash years ago. Notice the surname Frayer has that Gematria 73-like sacrifice. This year, the March Madness bracket was put out on March 14th, Pi Day, the 73rd day of the year. Keep in mind, 73 is also the 21st prime number because he's dead in 2021. And we said, in the world of suspicious death, there'll be a lot of 73 this year. There absolutely has been. And there were a lot of deaths on March 23rd, 2021 as well, the 67 date, which we just covered. So RIP to this young man, his girlfriend, his sister. Again, 3 people dead 3 days after the tournament. And year after year, there's stories like this. There are always suspicious deaths with major sporting events, major award ceremonies. It is clockwork. And more people need to recognize what's really going on. Again, the hallmarks are the specific numbers. You know, the fact they have to say that 57 hours after the game, the crash came. And again, was there even really a crash, or is this the stage scene to cover up what really happened? Can you imagine crashing into a police car and a tree and your car blowing up and everyone dying? I mean, don't forget the song Murder by Numbers was recorded by the Police in 1983, and the word murder's 83. Look up the lyrics to the song Murder by Numbers by the Police. And also, if you get a moment, please look into That is so weird. I was going to tell you guys to look into, there it is. There it is. Looks like somehow I lost the internet connection. But I was going to say, look into the latest Supreme Court case going on, you guys. There is a case where the Supreme Court's going to rule on if police have the right to enter people's homes and take their guns without a warrant. The Biden administration wants this. And don't get caught up in that whole Democrat-Republican thing. The Democrats do their thing. The Republicans do their thing. Some people love one side, hate the other. That's the way they play us. But this is a two-party system that's two wings of the same bird. And, yeah, seriously, signs of the time right there. Warrantless gun seizures. Sounds very American. We need to wake up, people. Till next time.